Hey, welcome everybody. Today we are looking at the Fiio Q3. This is a THX portable DAC amplifier. It has a lot of different things in here. It supports a lot of different files up to really high resolution files. You got the little high-res thing printed on there, Fiio also printed in raised letters. Looking at the construction, the thing is built superbly. It's thin. It is amazing that this thing puts out the power that it puts out, but it can drive, headphones as well. I'm going to put this up against a phone. Here's my old phone right here. As you can see, putting it up against it, you can still use the fingerprint reader, and the camera array isn't anything blocked. So that's good. There's nothing blocked there. And it could just easily be connected to that, and you could take it with you wherever you wanted, and you would have a nice, very nice DAC amplifier. Now, obviously, I've been reading the reviews on Amazon for this, and there is a camp for 4 to 3 of these. There's a loop part as well, the S1. That's a very good device. I have not even so much as tested that device. I can't speak for that device. I think it's the lower powered of the 4. So we'll just not include that right now. It does look very good though. It looks like an excellent device, and from what I read, it has a very good sound too as well. But we're not doing that today. We're doing the Q3. So compared to the hip DAC, now the hip DAC is more power. It has a bit of a warmth to it. It has a nice tonality altogether to it. But it lacks some of the features here, and obviously you get a balanced and a non-balanced on that one, as where this one you have 3 different choices. There is no need for any adapters here, of course, unless you have one of the big 6.3s, which you probably won't have, especially for portable, who wants to carry that around. So you have 3 different ones, 2 different balanced, the larger balanced, which is the 4.4, and the 2.5 millimeter balanced. And then you have a 3.5 millimeter, which is an input and output, from what I am told. So that gives that an advantage, because this can be bypassed and used just as an amplifier. You have USB-C, a single one in the back for charging. There's a switch to shut it on and off for the charging. You have this gain switch right here, which I'll press. That lights up green. You have your bass boost, which is a switch, on and off. And you have the C, of course, where you can charge it or not charge it, depending on what you want to do. I'll shut the gain off right now. The gain works very well. The bass boost also works very well. It's a very tasteful bass boost. Maybe not so as good as, say, the X bass, but it does a very good job compared to probably a dozen other different name brand amplifiers that I've used. I like the on-off switch. Has a nice satisfying click to it to turn it on and off. I love the design of this, and there's no seams here. It's just a really nice crafted device, nice and thin. It has a 1800 milliamp battery, so it has a very good battery life, and that's one of the features. If you're in the camp of the 3 that are out right now, that are all in the same price, you have the X2 Basic, you have this one, and you have the hip DAC. Each one is going to bring something different to the table. Each one is going to take something away from the table. This one being the lower powered of the 3, but it still has enough power to do a lot of different things. Even the Fostex T50RPs that I tried on this, and the Sennheiser, you did have to put it on high gain and turn it up a little bit, but it still was able to play them. And I don't think anybody rightfully is going to buy these and go out and get some, say, LCD X's or LCD 4s or something, and think that this is going to run that. Surprisingly, the X2 can do that, but it doesn't have a balanced out whatsoever. If you want to get the balanced version, it's a lot more money. So we're not even going to include the balanced one. This one offers 3 different outputs, and it has THX in it. It has some clarity that is just unmatched for something of this size. It sounds so good. There's very low distortion. There's some quality sound here. The bass sounds good. Everything sounds very good and just completely neutral and balanced at the same time. Nothing is added except for when you hit that bass boost. Everything is just very, very transparent. Some good clarity going on here in that chipset. That said, I do not have this thing supports a lot of things. This supports up to 768 kilohertz 32-bit PCM file and DSD 512 with the chipset. The chipset is extremely efficient. The battery does last up to 10 hours. I'm trying to find the rest of my notes here. It sounded really good. I underlined that in my notes. It just some really good pure audio coming out of this thing without a lot of coloring to it. You have the THX AAA amplifier inside of here. It has OPA amps inside of it. It actually has a separate OPA amp just for the bass, which is very good. It has the OPA 2322. You also have the OPA amp A1662 on this as well. And the DAC is the AK4462 Velvet Sound DAC. Then, of course, you have a 3.5, a 2.5, and a 4.4 millimeter output on this as well. 10 hours of battery life. The construction it's excellent. It's built really nice, solid. I wouldn't say it's built like a tank, more like a Mercedes. It's quite good. Not that I've ever owned a Mercedes, but I'm just trying to use it. Built like a Cadillac. I'm an American, so I'll say the American. It's built like a Cadillac. There we go. Just not a North Star. I'm just kidding. Inside the box, you'll find the charging cable. You'll find a little nylon mesh case. You'll find a 3.5 millimeter cable, which is a lot bigger than the cable I got with my original. I had the Q1 and the Q3, which this is Q1, excuse me, and the Q1 Mark II. As a USB. It's supposed to have a Apple adapter, but that didn't come in the package, but that's okay. This is a review unit. This was sent by Appos, by the way. I don't own this one. I'm just trying to try all of these out. Eventually, I'm actually going to buy one because I need one of these in my life. I just don't know which brand I'm going to get yet. I'm still doing the research on that. Will it be the X2? Will it be this Fiio? Will it be the Hip DAC? I am not 100% sure yet which one I'm going to decide to have and use because I really do need a portable. Let's go to the screen and we can just see the accessories for this. As you can see on the screen, there's your accessories. You get your standard Fiio rubber bands. I'm laughing because that brings back a memory when I bought the Q3, not the Q3, excuse me, the Q1. Then I decided to get the Q1 Mark II, and that ended up getting destroyed. And it was my fault. I actually left it in my jacket, and somebody decided to just go to town on my jacket and damage my phone and everything else. Never leave your stuff unattended. There's a lesson learned there. I always have to learn things the hard way. Let's see if I can get in a little closer. There we go. Looking at the accessories, obviously you get the unit itself. It's in the box. You get the 3 adapters, one of which I didn't receive. You get a rubber mat thing, and you get 4 bands and the charging C cable. So looking over here at the unit itself, honestly, I like this. I especially like the ports. It looks really nice. It reminds me almost of the Sony that has these ports, but that's a lot thicker and a lot harder to travel with. Sure, yeah, it's probably more powerful. I don't know. I've never actually used that outside of a setting. At one of the shows when I was testing some headphones, they had a couple of those up, and those were the units that were powering the stuff. I like the look. I like how it feels in the hand. It feels solid in the hand without being overly heavy. It's very lightweight. without being cheap feeling. It has a nice, the volume knob has a nice attenuation. It isn't cheap feeling at all. I like the inputs. I like the fact that there is an input, there as well as an output. See there the little symbol there, people. If I can focus in on that, which is very light, so I guess you can't really see it too much, but it has a little arrow showing that on there. And I'm assuming with the 3.5 millimeter that means that this has the thing. I didn't see it in the specs though. But I will probably test that. I'm probably going to do a quick follow-up video on this. I know I've been trying to test a whole bunch of things at the same time. We got the iFis here, and we got other stuff coming in, and I'm trying to get ahead of it all. I'm sorry, I had an emergency that I had to take care of. That's why there was a lapse in the videos for a short period. What was that? The funny story about the Q1 that I had the Q1 Mark II, and I left it in a coat, and the coat fell, and people decided that they would just step all over the coat instead of actually putting it back up for me. And this is going back a few years, so, obviously I've learned my lesson since then. I don't know what the heck I was thinking at that time. Don't leave stuff that is important in your coat. As a matter of fact, keep your coat with you. Especially in this world now, it only takes 2 seconds for somebody to swipe your phone or something, and then, your whole life can be turned upside down. But going into the Q1, not the Mark II, but the Q1, the original, the silverish gray one, I had ordered that from Walmart, and I posted on social media, and I think this is going back maybe 2 years ago. And that was back when I was just doing written reviews. I wasn't doing video reviews at the time. But I did post the video. I decided to do an unboxing for that. And boy, was I shocked when I opened the box, and there was nothing inside the box. It was empty. There was nothing in there but 2 rubber bands from Fiio, which I still have, and 2 white mats from Fiio, and a 3.5 millimeter, but it was like this big. It was a tiny, to go right into your DAP. Those were the only things in the box. And of course that came through the mail because somebody used the one size fits all box, and they don't even bother to weigh that. It just gets sent through the thing. So yeah, I was surprised, and I had to go through a battle with Walmart, but they finally gave me my money back for that. And then I decided by that time the Mark II was out, so I bought the Mark II instead. And that was a very good unit too, and I know a lot of people still like that unit to this day. It doesn't work well with a lot of Android devices. It drains the battery, and that this one, having solved the problem with the Switch, and it plays well with the PC, it plays well with the Mac, and it plays well with iOS and Android. So that's good. I did not test this on the Switch. If somebody's going to ask me, I gave up on that. The Switch doesn't like a lot of different things, and I'm surprised because I just recently had a 2.4 gigahertz pair of gaming headsets, and I plugged it in. They worked perfectly, and I was shocked because the Switch doesn't like a lot of different DAC amplifiers and that. I wish they could correct that software-wise. I'm sure it's just a software issue. But being that the Switch doesn't have Bluetooth for audio on it, it would be nice if it would support things like this, because that would be nice. This could be clipped right to the back, and then you have some really good audio with game, even though you don't really need high-end, super audio with thing. It would be nice to have the amplification feature. So that's just me rambling on. Overall, I would give this very high marks. I'm torn between the 2 that I've already used, the hip and this one, seriously, because this thing is very clear and it has a lot of output on it, and it's just very small and easy to carry with you. And just because it has a little less power than the other one doesn't mean it's underpowered at all. And a lot of people have just expected way too much for something this thin. You have to remember, this was designed to be efficient and listen for 10 hours, which nobody's really going to do, I don't think. I have listened to things for 8 hours sometimes, but it's really not good for your ears to do it that long. Seriously, this thing has a lot to offer. It has clarity, efficiency, very good build quality, very nice, you know, features on it, including that THX and the bass boost and the high and low gain on it and everything. In such a compact shell that, and not to mention it looks great. I mean, it looks fantastic. I think if it came in a silver too, that would probably be really just over the edge, but I would like that as well. But, it's decent looking the way it is in this sleek black metal. It's all metal construction. I don't think that's plastic either. I think that's metal as well. I'm not 100% sure. Could be plastic, but to me it looks like metal. Um, it doesn't get very warm when you're using it either. I should note that. And we're getting around the 15-minute mark. So I will leave a link down below to Appos. I like to thank them for the opportunity to try out this product because I'm trying to make up my mind which one I'm going to buy in the future. And yeah, this one is definitely in the running. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Fiio Q3, and this is a portable DAC amplifier, and it does an excellent job with some excellent clarity and a lot of nice features on it, and definitely it's super efficient, so you can use it as long as you want. And seriously, some good stuff here. This is a good piece of kit for your collection. If you're into IMs, this thing is very, very good. Very well behaved with low impedance IAMs as well. So I also make that as a note. So there's a lot of check marks on this that make this thing good. I know there's been a lot of people that just don't like it for some reason. I don't know why. Honestly, I can't figure it out. I like it and I would recommend it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all stay safe.